Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go through another live trade with you guys. So I took this trade last week and I traded GameStop. I scalped it for about 5 minutes and I made a profit about $2,100. So I'll go through that scalp with you guys. I'll go through the momentum behind GME and why I decided to trade the stock. Before we get into the video, I do just want to say that I know I've been posting a lot of live trades just profit wise, and I do want to let you guys know that I do take losses. Last week I traded all 5 days. 3 days I was in profit, and Thursday and Friday I had red days, and I had enough of a cushion from the beginning of the week to end my entire week in green and profit. However, I do take red trades. I do have red days. It is normal, especially with current market conditions. It is a lot tougher to trade just in general. So even the most experienced traders are taking losses. Just because I don't post them as often on YouTube, I do post them on Instagram, Twitter, on my social media, just to show people, the reality of trading. So just because I'm not posting, losses, which my next live video, I will post a loss for you guys so you guys can see, the good and bad side live. So I'll make sure to do that as well. So I just wanted to state that and let you guys know that, not all my trades are green. Just because I'm posting green live trades does not mean that every trade that I've taken over the past week has been green. I do have red days. I do have red trades, just like any other trader. So that being said, as always, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions, and let's just get started with the video. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So ignore what's in the back here. It's a monitor that I need to put up. The trade that I took, like I said, was with GME, and I traded it on Wednesday, August 25th. And you can see here we have GME, August 25th. We have the 1 minute time frame here. So whenever I don't trade meme stocks, as they call them, very often, and this was actually my first or second time trading GME, so I don't trade it very often. So I do want to just let you guys know, when you are trading stocks like GME, AMC, the momentum comes very quickly and it comes out of nowhere. Sometimes there's no technical analysis behind it. It's just that people are pushing the stock up. It's literally dumb money just literally starting to push the stock up. It went through a huge short squeeze a few months, I want to say a year back. I don't know how long ago it was. So recently, meme stocks have been catching. It was last week they started to catch a little bit more volume, a little more interest in them. So they started to make some moves. And on Monday, I believe GME moved slightly. And then Tuesday, it started to make... I started to catch a lot of volume, so I started to watch it on Tuesday. I traded it on Tuesday and I traded it on Wednesday of this past week because it did have a lot of volume behind it and it did have a lot of momentum. And also I do want to mention that most of these stocks don't follow overall market sentiment. Usually what I see is when the meme stocks are moving, the market is either dropping or it's very choppy. So they don't move with overall market sentiment. So this trade that I'm going to go through is actually probably the best trade I took all week because it did have technical analysis behind it. It had IV behind it and it had strong momentum behind it. So it was a really, really good scalp to take. It was just a high risk scalp. So the only downside to these trades is that it is high risk, high reward. Because the IV is so high, the premium fluctuates a lot. So you will see the premium fluctuation in this live video. You will start to see how much the premium fluctuates up and down prior to the stock making the move, or the stock as the stock is making the move. You guys will see that. So the first level that I had on GME, so you can see throughout the day, it kind of made it low at 193, didn't really move much up. And then it did make a slight move up around 210, pulled back to the low of the day, which was 193. And this was around the time I think market started pulling back as well. And then it started to make its move back up towards the high of the day, which is around 210. The level that I was watching on GME, I had a level at 215 on GME. Also, it was a psych level. So after that 210 level, the levels that I tend to watch on GME are psych levels, and I'll pay attention to the open interest and volume on the strike prices. So whatever strike prices tend to have the highest open interest and volume are the strike prices that I will be paying attention to for GME, and the levels that I'll be paying attention to. So for GME on this trade specifically, I was looking to take the break of 215 to 220. So my ultimate target on GME was 220. I ended up getting out at around 1037, I believe it was. Let me look at, yeah. So I got out around 1037, so I ended up holding it because it was holding that 220 level. And the tape was still pushing past 220, which is why I ended up holding GME. So I didn't watch level 2 as much with this one. I watched more of the tape just to see what actual trades are going through, because like I said, when you're watching level 2, those are every trade that someone puts in, even if they're canceled trades, not filled trades. The tape shows you trades that have actually been filled and put through. So it's more of an accurate depiction of where the stock is heading. All right, so on that day, you can also see that I did trade, let me move this out so it zooms in. So I did also trade a couple other stocks that day. So I traded NVIDIA. I made about $600 on NVIDIA, and I took a small Facebook position as well and made about $100 on our, what is this, $60, $70 on Facebook. So it was pretty much a slow day that day. I wasn't trading as much because there was not a lot of volatility going on, not a lot of trades going on. Market was a little choppy, but I did end up catching these two on the upside before the market started pulling back. So you can look at these entries here and go ahead and look at those trades. I'm not going to go through that, these specific trades here, but you can look at the entries here. And if you want to go back and see where I entered and exit, you can definitely do that. So I entered GME, so you can see GME's chart here. I entered GME at the break of 215, okay? So right now it's 10:28. I entered at 10:32, so you can see a little bit of the price action prior to that. Let me just see. I entered at 10:32, yeah. So stock's currently at around 210. So 210 was around the high of the day, 210 to 11. So that was the psych level that I was watching. So if it was able to hold 210, my entry was going to be above 215 because the high of day was around 212, I believe. So I made my entry at 215, the break of 215, because it was a next psych level. So I didn't trust the break of 212, which was around the high of the day, or it to hold 210 for me to enter. All right, so I forward a little bit of the video here because it was just taking too long. Again, stock is kind of holding that 210 level, which is good. That shows that it is holding that psych level there, so people are interested in pushing the stock up. Buyers are still in control of this. It's not pushing down below that 210 level. Now the strike that I'm going to be looking at if it does break my level of 215 is going to be the 220 strike. You can see my cursor right over 220. Pick the 220 strike just due to the fact that that was my profit target on this trade, as well as the fact that it had the most open interest and volume. So you can see the open interest here on this strike and volume. So to me, that shows that buyers are interested in pushing this stock to that specific level. On top of it, it is a psych level. So right now it's 1032. So you're going to see the stock make a big move up here. I think I enter towards the end of this candle. Yeah. All right. So you can see here stock starts to gain momentum. You're going to start to see volume pick up on this candle. Okay. It's approaching that 215. There it goes. I'm a little late on the entry on this, so I get a really bad fill. Really bad fill on this. So you can see my entry here at 1032. I do, like I said, get a pretty bad fill on this. I got filled at 1735, so it was literally at the peak of this candle. It was literally at the highest point of that premium spike on this candle, so I didn't get the best fill because I was delayed in my entry. So you can see this is the premium chart now. And as we watch the stock move, you're going to see a lot of fluctuation in that premium. So I entered at 1032. So let's go ahead and take a look at where 1032 entry was. Okay, so at 1032, this was the candle that broke that 215 level. Now I usually wait for a confirmation candle like you've seen in my other videos, unless the stock is a high volatility stock, like I said, and it's going to be a short scalp. I don't tend to wait for that confirmation candle. I'll get in on the breakout candle, and this breakout candle was highly bullish with high volume, so I was comfortable in getting in on this breakout candle at 1032 and not waiting for the confirmation candle at 1033. It broke my 215 level, had a lot of volume behind it. Buyers were stepping in at that point, so I was comfortable entering at 1032. Whoops. So let's go back here. And from here on in out, you see the premium chart. You don't see my GME chart, which is fine. It should still kind of show you the same picture. Okay, so that was a 1032 now. It's 1033. Stock is still pushing. I'm still in. Like I said, my ultimate target was 220. And you can see at 1033, which was the next level, hadn't hit at 220 yet. So I was still comfortable staying in. Volume was still high and buyers were still in control of the stock at this point. And it was holding that 215 initial entry point. So if I enter at this 215 breakout, my stop loss is going to be a hold below 215. If the stock breaks and holds 215, I would have exited the trade. However, you can see on this 1033 candle and 1034 candle, 1035 candle, the stock ends up holding that 215 candle, 215 level all the way through these candles. So let's go back. All right, back to this. I think I switch it back to the premium chart anyways, because I like to watch the premium chart when I'm watching IB, because I watch the actual chart of the stock on Thinkorswim, like I mentioned, and it's easier for me to catch the premium spike when I'm watching the premium chart on Interactive Brokers. If you guys are interested in moving to Interactive Brokers, I think it's a great broker for scalping. There's a link in my bio down below for you guys to open an account with them. And I do have a video on how to set up your Interactive Brokers platform as well. All right, here we go. Stock starting to pick up momentum here. Closed well on that candle, still held that 215 level. Remember, 1033, 1034, and the 1035 candle all held the 215 level, which is why I was comfortable holding, even though it was in profit, because my entry was 1735 was the fill price that I got, so I was still in profit most of this time. Right, so we're still on the 1034 candle here. So like I said, this was about a 5-minute trade, so I exited at 1037, and you're going to see the premium spike at that 1037 candle. Okay. All right, here's 1035. So remember, the 33, 4, and 5 candles all kind of pulled back, but they were still holding that 215 level. Like I said, the tape was still coming in above 215. The bids were holding 215. They weren't dropping below 215, which is why I was comfortable holding through this slight pullback, even though it's a high volatility stock. It hadn't hit my initial price target, so I was comfortable still staying in. And yeah, you're going to see it kind of pick up in just a few. All right, here we go. Stock starts to pick up here on that 1035 candle. All right, starting to pick up here, and you're going to see a 1035 candle. So this is a 1035 candle. I'm sorry, this is a 1035 candle here. So the 1035 candle is the candle that actually touches 220. So you can see this 1035 candle here, it did touch 220. I didn't end up getting out at the 1035 candle just because the tape was still showing the bids increasing. So the price execution was still coming in at the ask or higher, and the next candle that opened above 220. Usually when I look to exit at a price target, so say for example, you know, my profit target is 220, that's my first target, I do sometimes wait for the next candle to open up, depending on the stock and depending on what I see on the tape and level 2. I do wait for the next candle to open up just to see how it is able to hold my profit target level. If it is able to hold, I stay in the stock. If it's not able to hold and I see some indecision between buyers and sellers on the tape, then I would close my position. So you're going to see that at this point, it was a huge bullish move here. Buyers were in control of the stock. There was no reason for me to exit at 1035 because it was a huge bullish candle with high volume, and the tape was holding the 220 level. So you're going to see here, 1035. We're gonna get next candle in 2 seconds. All right, here we go. Now at this point, I'm in a big profit. I made about a little over a $2 profit so far, but I am comfortable still holding because you want to optimize your profits when you are scalping. That is the best way to do it. I didn't get out on, I do regret not getting out on this premium spike here. I waited for the 1037 candle prior to getting out. If I had gotten out at 1036, I would have caught a bigger premium spike, but I still made a really decent amount on this. Because I did get a little slightly greedy, thinking that the stock would make a bigger move up. I missed out on about $1,000 because I was in profit about $3,000. And because I waited for the next candle candle to open, I did give back a little bit of that just because of the volatility. You can see the IV on the stock here is around 261%. That is a lot, okay? That is very, very high IV. The IV on Tesla right now, most of the market's IV is pretty low anyways with options, which is not good when you are scalping options. You want higher IV so the premium can fluctuate more, especially when you're only in a trade for a couple of minutes. If the premium is not moving as much because the IV is too low, you don't get that premium move and you don't make a lot on your profit. You don't get a bigger ROI. So when you see IV like this is overly high IV, which makes it high risk to trade a stock like this, which is why even though I got out very quickly at the 1037 candle, which you'll see, I lost almost $1,000 in profit because of the IV. Right? Stock is moving, looks good. So you can see right here, I'm up almost $3,000. I didn't lock it. I got a little greedy, like I said, but that's just how it is. It was still a really, really good premium flush, and now you're going to start to see me, I think I get out soon, yeah. 1037 candle here, there, starts to pull back here, wasn't able to hold, and I end up selling out at 1037. I made about a $2,140 profit here. You can see the realized P&L. My entry point was at my entry price was at 1735. My exit price was at 2165. The premium did end up hitting close to $23, so I did miss a lot of that, not getting out on the premium spike, but I was still really, really happy with this trade. It was a really good scalp here, 5-minute scalp. And if you look at the chart, it was a very clean move up here on GME, even with the high volatility, high movement on this. It did have high volume. Stock made a nice break of the level that I was watching at 215 and made its way past my first profit target. So I did hold it into another profit target because you want to optimize your profits. If you don't see a reason to get out of your position just because it hit your profit target, don't get out. Watch the tape, see if the stock and the tape and the bids are holding that profit target. So for me, the bids were holding 220. That shows to me that buyers are still looking to push the stock above 220. It held the 220 level. The candle opened above 220, so I was comfortable holding this stock all the way through into the next profit target. So those are kind of things that you need to look at. You need to look at volume, and the volume on this candle here, the candle that exited, was huge. So much volume on there. Huge bullish move on the candle. Tape was holding 220 level, so there's really no reason for me to get out just because my first profit target was hit. If you do want to get out, you can lock some of your position. Usually if you want to scale out, I would lock about 50% of whatever you have in your position. So 50% of your contract should be locked when it hits your first profit target. If you want to trade on the safer side, I usually get all in and all out. If I do scale out, it's 50% first and then the next 50% on my next profit target. So you can do it that way as well. If you have only one contract, pay attention to what level 2, pay attention to what the tape is telling you and the volume on the stock, and then determine whether it is a good time for you to lock in profit. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. If you have any video suggestions, you can also comment down below as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.